Good evening, everyone. I want to introduce Charlene Young to everybody tonight and just let you know that Charlene grew up in Rosetown, Saskatchewan, and she went to school in Rosetown, graduated from there, and then moved off to Saskatoon to work and live where she currently is. And Charlene has learned and adapted her entire life as she lives with a disability. Charlene has been blind since birth, and so she's had to learn to do everything she does without sight. So I guess first of all, since high school, Charlene, have you had any formal education since high school?
Yes, I pursued formal education after high school. I enrolled in the Great Plains Community College, where I completed the computer work certificate. And then after that, I took the office admin course online through Saskatchewan Polytechnic and successfully graduated in 2016.
Okay, that's awesome. So that Great Plains College course, was that an online course as well, or was that at a campus?
It was at just the community college in Rosetown.
Yeah, that's right. Since you've left town, that college no longer exists, but the program probably still exists within this.
Yes. Yeah,
So your current occupation, can you tell us where you currently work and what your job title is?
for sure. So I'm currently employed at the Saskatoon office of Vision Loss Rehabilitation Canada, which is the sister organization to CNIB Foundation. And I am an assistive technology specialist.
Okay, so can you just kind of tell us what that job is all about?
For sure. So in this role, I assist individuals who are blind or partially sighted and also deaf-blind in learning how to utilize adaptive technology. And additionally, I conduct workplace assessments for clients um, of employment age to identify suitable assistive technology that would enable them to maintain their employment. Um, and yeah, that's about it in a nutshell.
Assistive technology, I think some people might not be familiar with what you mean by that. So what is assistive technology roughly?
So assistive technology is so for people with vision loss, there would be screen reading programs such as JAWS for Windows, JAWS standing for Job Access with Speech. It's a synthesized voice basically that will tell you what's being displayed on the screen. And instead of using the mouse, you're going to use keyboard commands. So, for example, if I wanted to go to my desktop, I would press the Windows key and the letter D, or composing a new email message, I could press the control key and the letter N. But there's a wide variety of those keyboard commands, and you have to be able to have good typing skills before you can utilize that.
Yeah, I could see that typing skills and knowledge of that keyboard come in handy. So had you learned most of that at school, or was that through some of that through the office training programs you had?
Most of it I learned at school through CNIB as well. Before I started working there as the assistive technology specialist, I worked with previous assistive technology specialists and just kind of gained the training from there on on that program. But then there's other adaptable software out there as well. So for scanning textbooks and reading print materials, like the hard copies of print materials. I use a program called Open Book, and it has a camera called the Pearl camera that you can use as a scanner, and it will read out what is displayed on a piece of paper.
So that's amazing technology, and I imagine you've seen big strides in the development of that technology in your lifetime.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I can't. I
Yeah,
can imagine that 20, 30 years ago, these things wouldn't have existed. Things would have been quite different. Um,
absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of evolving technology out there for sure.
it's hard to say where it'll even be 10 years from now. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
This is where you currently work. Like because there's sometimes there maybe feels like there's job limitations. Is there some other places where you have worked and besides this? So just to give some people ideas where other places where you could work.
Yeah, so after I graduated, I gained work experience through various part-time and seasonal positions. Um, Over the course of 7 winters, I served as a highway hotline clerk for the Ministry of Highways and Infrastructure in Saskatoon. And then I worked as a part-time switchboard operator for Saskatoon Police Service for 7 years as well. And I also worked in the contact center on a casual basis as a contact center representative for Saskatchewan Polytechnic.
Cool. So there's different jobs you've had in there, and use those skills that you've developed. Awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
So some challenges you face in the workplace. So can you just describe some of the employment challenges you've had at your various jobs?
For sure. So in my previous positions, I actually encountered some employment challenges, primarily related to software accessibility for my screen reading software. And this limitation made certain aspects of my job difficult to navigate. For example, with the highway hotline, there was a program called Telenium, which was a database of all the highways and all the different sections of highway within the province, and it was all map based. So I actually had to get the mobile version, which was the text only version, and that was the only way that I was able to use that. So it was a bit of a tedious process because I had to know each area of highway, and I had like a reference sheet I could refer to, but it took me probably 3 or 4 times as long as other people that could just click on the map to change the driving conditions for winter, like icy, slippery sections, travel not recommended, and that sort of thing.
Hard for some kind of maybe now, but maybe but
Hmm.
the program to figure out a map, yeah, and parts of the map, yeah.
Yeah, well, and then the jobs were mostly part-time, casual, and seasonal, resulting in a challenge related to insufficient working hours. So I was really wanting to get out in the world and buy my own condo and everything. And with those part-time jobs, I wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, I guess that's a limiting factor too, the employment challenge of being part-time versus full-time. Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah.
So are jobs hard to find for or people with learning or with not learning with vision disabilities like yourself? Is that a
Um, It can be challenging for individuals with vision loss, including myself, like to secure employment. One major factor is the general lack of awareness and understanding regarding the hiring of individuals with vision loss. It's important really to recognize that people with vision loss are no different from their sighted counterparts, and accommodations such as installing screen reading software on a computer can effectively bridge accessibility gaps in workplaces.
they just have to kind of make it a point to care enough to do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's good. Um, okay, this is another question. I think this is students of with vision or without vision maybe face this. How did you find adjusting to from small town Rosetown to the big city?
Well, the transition from living in a small town to moving to Saskatoon was definitely a huge adjustment for me. Um, Saskatoon offers a lot more transportation options and more diverse arrays of activities. And being in a larger city, I have the opportunity to join various advocacy groups and participate in organizations focused on issues related to persons with disabilities, and also allowing me to advocate for our rights. And I've also built meaningful friendships and expanded my social network, and that's been really engaging as well.
So that sounds like lots of advantages for you then to being in a city then, where
Hmm.
because it's pretty hard to be an advocacy group in a small town, if you're the only person with this kind of disability around, in a sense, I guess.
For sure.
Um, I guess we've answered the question a little bit about technology. So obviously, technology does come into play in your specific situation at your workplace.
Yes, I'm consistently like looking at technology blogs and different technology trends, and also talking with other colleagues and organizations to get more information on assistive technology and what else is available. And I try to attend all kinds of webinars and such as well.
Outside of,
Um,
okay, outside of software and I guess the computer, the hardware as well, is there anything
mhm.
else in your own life, like in your home life or anything like that you find is a piece of technology that really is helpful?
Well, I use a refreshable braille display, and basically the refreshable braille display has these little pins that pop up to make different letters and numbers, just because braille is based on the 6 dot structure where there's different dots that symbolize specific letters and numbers and punctuation and all that kind of thing. So I use that a great deal with my computer. So when I'm editing documents, I can actually tell if there's like large spaces in between words, or if I'm lined up with all of my bullet points, for example, and that sort of thing. And then it works really well when I'm giving presentations as well, because I tend to give a lot of assistive technology presentations too. So and then, of course, I also use it to read with it. So, yeah, it's definitely a tool that I use on a daily basis. But another one is VoiceOver on the iPhone. It's a built in screen reading software for the iPhone and the iPad. But basically, with the iPhone and iPad, they've opened up a lot of doors for me. And I have apps that are downloaded that basically help with independence by reading text and identifying barcodes and recognizing currency as a few examples. But yeah, that's pretty well it.
Yeah. Um, Now that you've had some experience in the workforce, is there more that can be done to help students with visual disabilities to be successful in the workforce? Like when I say more can be done, is there more can be done like at the school level or also at the, in the, even in the public in general?
Yeah, so basically just keeping an open mind. Um, Basically, like technology is constantly evolving, and there's a lot of opportunities to enhance um, the success of students with vision loss in the workplace. Um, yeah, I guess basically integration of assistive technology and advocating for your rights, and just promoting inclusive policies to create a more supportive workplace.
Yeah. So fight for your rights, I guess, eh?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, you've already done this a bit, I think, but can you share any advice for employers that they could, to create this more inclusive? Like, what can they do? The employer do? Like, I mean, you've already said they can be more inclusive and stuff like that, but is
Yeah. My advice would be to basically have an open mind and focus on the ability and not the disability of the person. And hiring somebody with a disability is no different than hiring someone without a disability. Um, and
I love that statement. How
yeah, and
just
consider providing like reasonable accommodations and working with the person to figure out, okay, what do they need for the job? Talking to people like myself to get a little bit more information on assistive technology as well, and maybe attending like a workshop on assistive technology might help with
yeah,
the education piece.
so they get more familiar with what is needed. Yeah.
Hmm.
So in a kind of a summary, what type of occupations do you think can work for students who have vision disabilities?
Well, there's numerous career paths that would be well suited for somebody with vision loss, such as remote work positions, technology, customer support, entrepreneurship, advocacy, education. Um, I could probably go on forever, but it's important to emphasize that the job suitability should be determined by qualifications rather than the nature of the occupation. So, like, the focus should be on ensuring that individuals with disabilities are given the equal opportunity based on their skills.
Coming back to that ability, not the disability part. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
like that. As far as, have you been involved in any community or advocacy efforts? You've said that already. So what can you describe that advocacy stuff piece?
Sure. Yeah. So I have been participating in an organization called Barrier Free Saskatchewan. And I'm the vice president at the moment. Um, Basically, it's a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to developing legislation in the province of Saskatchewan to advocate for an Accessible Saskatchewan Act. And then additionally, I serve as the chairperson for the board of the Ability Hub YXE, which is one of 24 organizations nationwide focused on empowering individuals with disabilities through education and resources for independent living. And then I also I work a little bit with a group through CNIB Foundation. It's an advocacy group, and we focus on advocating on issues such as transportation and maybe accessible pedestrian signals not working, voting rights, and that sort of thing.
Awesome. And I think that's, I mean, I think it's really great that in a way you're giving back, because I mean, you're helping others, especially younger people. And again, that's where we're coming from at the RDIC is, you know, how can we help younger people in all walks of life? And what you're doing is really helping people that have disabilities have those rights and expand upon that and make things better. I think that's awesome that you're involved.
Well, thank you.
Life work balance is something that we talk about with lots of people in the workforce. There's more to life than just going to work, right? You know, we all do that, and we all, you know, got to make a living and everything like that. But what do you do for the fun stuff? What's the fun side for Charlene? What should she do?
Yeah, so actually, me and a few others started up a blind curling club in Saskatoon a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to be working with that. I've never curled before that, so it's definitely a new experience for me. So we'll do that until the end of March. And then I'm also involved with blind bowling. We have a blind bowling league in Saskatoon as well. And then apart from that, I enjoy reading and collecting vinyl records, listening to music, and cooking and socializing with friends.
Awesome, awesome. Vinyl records. What's your genre? What do you like to listen to?
Oh, I like a little bit of everything. I have over 200 records now. It's been kind of a hobby that I started during COVID, so it's been enjoyable.
Well, Charlene, I don't have any more questions. Do you have anything you want to add, or?
No, I don't think so. I appreciate you interviewing me today, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's an honor. You're an inspiration. I always enjoyed you when I had you in my class and in the school. You're such a positive, upbeat person. I think, and so glad to see that you've got success. I know you have your own condo now in Saskatoon, and you're living independently with full time work. You've been a real success in our opinion from Rosetown here and Sun West. So thank you once again for doing this. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.